Hello again, this is Mr. Pete, your YouTube shop teacher. Welcome back to beautiful Studio G. I have a special guest with me today who just happened to drop by. I think all of you will recognize him, the legendary Adam Booth. Some of you think of him as the dean of YouTube. If you don't know who Adam is, look up his channel, abom79. Is that right, Adam?
That is right. abom79 on YouTube, also over there on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Well, welcome to Northern Illinois, a little bit different than Florida.
It is.
And Adam is here not only as a guest so that we can hang out a little bit and talk, but we're going to have a few meals together and just a good time. He's here with his wife, Abby, from Florida. They live in Pensacola, as you well know. And Adam had a little adventure on the way up here. Do you want to tell them about that, Adam? About your trailer?
Oh, yeah, about the trailer. So we got about 4 hours from home. It was near Coleman, Alabama. I looked back in the mirror and I saw smoke puffing out the one of the left side wheels. So we pulled off the road and stopped, and I knew one of the hubs had just burned up, you know, the bearings and everything, and that's what it was. I was able to, luckily that happened in a place where there was a lot of mechanic shops there, so I ended up calling one of them, and they said, yeah, bring it around here, we'll take a look. So pulled around there, and they jacked it up to the axle, and the wheel just fell right off there. So we got really lucky that nothing bad happened there. And there was a trailer supply up the road about 20 minutes. I was able to go up there and buy all the parts, complete new backing plate with the brakes, a new hub, bearings, and everything. And they helped us, get it all cleaned up, put the new hub on there, and got us on the road. It only took about a little over 2 hours for that whole ordeal, which is pretty amazing.
That is amazing. And you have a little clips of that in your Abom Adventure channel?
Yeah, that's right. Abom Adventures is our second YouTube channel where Abby and I share when we go traveling, when we go RVing, we go camping, sometimes some barbecue. But we like to call them adventures when we go and see different places in the country. So.
Well, Adam is also here not just to visit, this humble correspondent, but he's going to Chicago next week to the International Machine Tool Show, and that event will probably be over by the time you see this video, but there's a big treat in store for some of the other machine shop people that will be in Chicago. Well, let's get started with some questions here. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I put a video on, and there were about 30,000 views, where I was requesting viewers to send in questions that we could use in this little interview chat that we're having here.
Yeah.
And there were about 400 questions, so I really had to trim it down. I've got a dozen or two here, but some of them were duplicates and some of them were naughty, invasive, even though I begged you not to do that. But so let's start out with this question, and this was covered in a lot of Adam's earlier videos. But people are very interested in your early history with your dad and your grandpa, and you have that wonderful picture at the end of every video. So they want to know a little bit about Booth Machinery and your grandpa and your dad.
Okay. They just want to know a little bit about their background and their work history.
And how do you fit into all of that, and how did you get your start?
Yeah. So my granddad was a machinist as well. And at the time that he started our shop, Booth Machine Shop, which was in 1972, and matter of fact, this is a good time to plug this. This year is our 50th anniversary for Booth Machine Shop, 1972. Yep. So at the time that my granddad started that shop, he was working for NARF, Naval Air Rework Facility, at NAS Pensacola. He was a machinist out there, machinist for him. And my understanding is that at that shop, they serviced the stuff for the Navy. They had the USS Enterprise was there, I believe. I'm sorry, not the Enterprise, Lexington, USS Lexington. And they serviced that aircraft carrier. So at that time, my dad was working for a machine shop too. It was called Peaks Machine Shop, which was where my granddad started working when he started his career. So he worked like 20 years at Peaks Machine Shop and then went to the Navy base and worked another 20 plus years out there to finish out his career as a machinist. And My dad got a job at Peaks Machine Shop. He was there when he was 18 years old. Something happened. There was a falling out. I don't know the whole story, but my granddad decided to start up their own shop there at my granddad's house and put my dad to work. And that's exactly what he did. So he built the shop and bought the machines, put it in there, and my dad ran it. And then it was over a period of a few years that my dad actually bought it and paid my granddad back for the shop. And then so that's what my dad did. He ran that shop, and it was always industrial repair work, manual machining, a lot of repair work. They did a lot of stuff for the city of Pensacola, which is now, well, there's a city of Pensacola, but the county is Emerald Coast Utility Authorities. They used to do a lot of work for them, the electric motor shops, other companies in town that had a lot of heavy equipment. They used to do a lot of repair for them as well. So that's my dad's background. My granddad, once he retired from NARF, I believe it was 1984. I have his plaque in the room. I believe it's 84 is when he retired. He retired and went fishing. That's what he did. But he would hang around because it was at granddad's house where the shop was. He would be out there all the time, you know, piddling, doing things. He would help us every now and then. And whenever he worked for NARF, he used to come home and actually help my dad in the shop get jobs done too as well. That's what Dad always told me.
And when did you become involved in the business?
So I started working for my dad in 1997, and it was the year that I graduated high school. May of 1997 is when I started working for him. I wasn't quite sure what direction I was going to go, what I was going to do with my career, but Dad talked me into coming and work for him. And I knew that he had a machine shop. I kind of knew what he did, but I didn't ever really fully pay attention to everything that he worked on. But he needed help. They were really busy at the time, you know, and he had a son that was, you know, I was still 17 at the time, actually. He needed help, and he wanted me to come and work for him. So he talked me into it. So I came and started working for him, and I just kind of fell in love with the trade at that point. You know, learning about what it is that a machinist does, the tools, the machinery, you know, all that old stuff that Dad had
Sure.
in his shop, you know, exploring through all that and learning about it. It just kind of stuck with me, and I felt comfortable working for Dad and doing what we did. And quite frankly, I didn't want to go to college. And there's parts of me that have regrets of not going to college for some kind of education. But I just stuck with working for Dad full time, and that's all I've ever done now.
Not everybody needs to go to college. That needs to be made clear to people. As long as you have some interest in trade, that's really more important than a college education. And you are quite smart and articulate in your videos, so people can tell that you're no dummy, even though you didn't go to college.
I try to act like I know what I'm doing most of the time.
Well, we all do. So, did you have machine shop or industrial arts in high school?
I did not. They did not have that. There was a wood shop, and that was in eighth grade, Pace High School. There was a wood shop, and so we did that. I remember we built like wooden bridges and buildings and stuff. Yeah. Machine shop that I went to.
That's interesting, because the next question I had for you, which will not apply, was, did you know more than the teacher? But that's what people think. But yeah, you did very well considering you didn't have it in high school, but you had a family that was in the business. People should know what ABOM stands for. Can you explain that real quickly? You've done it many, many times. What does abom79 mean?
ABOM is a nickname that my friend Joe gave me. And if you watch enough of my videos, you might have seen Joe from the welding shop in my video. So years ago, back when I was just starting out working with Dad, this was when I was probably 21, because I remember me and Joe and some other friends, we used to go out Friday or Saturday nights down to the club, you know. And Joe was the guy that gave everybody a nickname. It's just how he was. He didn't call anybody by their real name. So there was just one day he just shouted out ABOM. And then him and his other buddy, they were like, yeah, that's it. That's your name now, ABOM. So I'm like, all right, that works. So
and it stuck.
And so it stuck, and so that was a nickname. And then The 79 came later when I added to that to create an online presence. You know how you had to make a screen name?
Yes.
Abom was always taken, so I use 79 because that is my birth year. So that's it could also be an acronym for Adam Booth Machining, you know? So it kind of makes sense there as well.
Yeah, it does. It's a good name. Good name for you. Well, there are people out there that are very interested. You've got two things going. You bought some land, but we'll talk about that later on.
Okay.
But you are currently moving into a leased building where you are setting up shop with CNC machinery and several other pieces of very expensive machinery. And people are wondering, why are you doing that when you already have a beautiful shop at home?
Right. I wanted to expand my shop, but it's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time, is expand it. And I really wanted to try to like build on to my home shop that most people are aware of. And just because of the county codes, I'm just not able to do that.
Yeah.
So I can't expand my shop any more than what it is. They won't let me. It's too big for the lot. So Joe was building those new buildings, which is right down the road from where I live, and acquiring one of those shops was going to give me the extra space that I wanted to. And I wanted to try to acquire some new equipment to go in there, and I also wanted to try to jump into CNC machining and start learning something different that I can add to my trade skills there. So I've kind of felt like that I'm falling behind in that aspect, that I need to continue trying to learn something modern today, and I think CNC machining is you know, what I need to be learning there. So I wanted more shop space, and getting that at a shop gave me that opportunity, and I have been working with a couple of other companies out there. I made it really clear in my Miltronics video that I'm working with Miltronics. They are a sponsor, and they are providing those machines there for me to use to learn CNC machining, but also to use at my disposal, you know, with whatever I want to do. So, and it's the same thing with the Flex machine tools as well, is that is a sponsorship with Flex Machine Tools for that big CNC machine to go in there for us to have fun with, learn how to do CNC, hopefully get some big, you know, fun projects in there that we can utilize that big machine for. But that is Flex's machine.
And that thing's 20 foot long.
It has a XY travel of 4 foot by 20 foot. So
Wow.
we can put a 20-foot length of material on that machine and go to town with it if we want to.
So you do not own that machine?
I do not. Okay. I do not own that machine. That belongs to Flex Machine Tools, but they are providing it just like Miltronics is working with me for me to learn on and have fun with.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Do you look forward to having employees, or do you want to have it as a one-man shop?
I really kind of like the low-key aspect of it, just one man and one woman.
Too.
Abby helps me out with a lot of things around there, but I know a lot of people ask that as they want to know, or am I going to hire employees? All I can say is that we've got to just wait to find out, you know, because I can't give you that answer right now. But if the opportunities continue to, you know, come where we can keep doing other types of jobs, you know, and taking in other work, then it's very possible. But for the time being, I want to keep it just me.
Are you going to bring over any more machinery from your other shop?
No, I don't have any other machines planned besides maybe, I thought about bringing my big Dake arbor press down here because I don't have a press. I thought about maybe buying a new press for the shop. I just haven't really spent any time on that yet. But most of what's in the home shop is going to stay there, besides some of the smaller things like cutting tools, measuring tools, little support tools, you know, all the stuff that you have to have in order to run a machine.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but Adam's beautiful wife, Abby, is behind the camera. You can't see her. But several people were very concerned about her space and why you haven't put the steps in yet.
Well, honestly, I was, because I haven't added the welding machines to the shop yet, my buddy Joe that I leased from, he's got a welding shop. I asked him, I was like, do you mind fabbing up some steps for me? And so he said, yeah, I'll do that. We'll get some steps fabbed up. Well, he's been busy and he hasn't gotten to it yet. So,
All right.
so I'm kind of waiting on him. But also, if you get up top there above that office in the summertime, it's actually pretty warm up there in that area. So even if I had the steps and I had the rail up and everything ready, I don't think that she'd be hanging out there very much. So I think she's going to wait until it's a little bit cooler to set up. But yeah, Abby can use that space for whatever she wants. Put a big table up there so she have plenty of room to work and do her crafts, and she can create also.
Well, that's a good answer. So I think people out there are satisfied. Now, we're going to get back to your other property question here, but let me insert another one here. And this is from the famous Jimmy DiResta. Now, I think everybody out there knows who Jimmy DiResta is, I hope. He has a channel of his own and is a celebrity in his own right. But Jimmy posed this question, and I think I'll just go ahead and read it here.
Okay.
How do you balance travel and work? Because you're on the road a great deal of the time. And when you're on the road, such as now, do you get anxiety to get back to your shop?
Jimmy's a great guy,
Yes,
and I'm proud to consider him a friend. Awesome dude. I totally
Hello,
respect
Jimmy.
for Jimmy. But how do I balance it? So, you know, Abby and I do this together. I work from home. Abby works from home because of what she does. She can travel from the road, and then I can travel because I'm not working for somebody. I'm not punching the clock, and I can edit videos on the road too. But because of we're in the position that we are, where we can kind of leave and travel a bit, we try to take advantage of that. And so we do work on the road. And then what I like to try to do is whenever we have travel is, because I do content creation, I just try to have plenty of material there that I can work on and make a video and have it edited for when we're gone, when I'm not in the shop in my absence there. Just like this trip here, I plan on getting a little bit of video with you. I'm going to get some video with IMTS. I have a factory tour that we're going to be doing, so I'll still have some videos that I'm going to be editing while we're gone. Now, I don't know if that answered your question fully there, but
Not my question. Jimmy, did that answer the question?
Jimmy's question.